How big is your repertoire? So I've been playing the drums for 19 years now. I started when I was about 5 years old. Uh, During that time, I picked up quite a large and a varied repertoire. Ranges from orchestral pieces right through to metal and jazz. On top of that, I'm quite a quick learner of songs, particularly if I have sheet music in front of me. So yeah, I do have a very large repertoire, and it's got a lot of genres in there. It's very varied. How many of those songs are current top 40? A lot of them are. In a previous band, we used to cover a lot of pop songs and top 40 chart songs in sort of a funk rock style. So we put our own take onto those songs. A couple of examples of songs we did would be Umbrella by Rihanna, Dark Horse by Katy Perry, and Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. On top of that, I also worked in a functions band for a year or two, and we played at weddings and parties and events. So we had a general sort of functions band set list. Most of them, well, they're all pop songs, all songs everyone would know. New songs and old songs. We'd have ABBA, and we'd have some chart stuff at the time as well. Background of my musical career. So yeah, as I said, I've been playing the drums since I was 5, so it's 19 years. I've been in a variety of different bands for the past 10 years or so. Whilst at university, I ran an open mic and jam society. So here I invited people up on stage to jam with other musicians and encourage people to really play to their best there. I also used to attend a lot of jam sessions around the city of Southampton where I was at university. And here, yeah, I was speaking to and interacting with and playing with a lot of really talented musicians, and really brought my level up and helped me to really just feel the songs on stage and watch other musicians and play with other musicians, not just for myself. Yeah, whilst I was at school, I also used to play in an orchestra, so something a bit different. So again, just broadening my genres that I play, my horizons there. I can also play the guitar. I've been playing for about 10 years, and I've just been recently started teaching myself the piano as well. What was the largest and smallest crowd you've played in front of? I think the largest crowd is probably when I was in a funk rock or blues band. We supported a band called the Urban Voodoo Machine at the O2 Academy in Birmingham back in 2014. So that was probably the largest. And the smallest would just be a few gigs just when I was starting out in bands. Sometimes you'd just be playing to 10 people, maybe even less. Yeah, I always gave my all in those gigs. It's important to always give your all. There's always something to learn on stage, and just think of it as a practice session if you have to. Can you think of can you give us a story of when something has gone wrong and if you had to improvise to fix it? I remember there's one gig I was playing once, and my snare drum stand broke halfway through a song. So I had to end up holding the snare up with my knees as I was playing for the rest of that song. Once we got to the end of the song, I had a look to see what it was, and quickly spotted it was just one of the wing nuts had come loose, and what actually happened was the thread had broken on it, so I couldn't tighten it up anymore. So what I did, I took it off. I just took a wing nut from a different place on the drum kit that isn't so important. I moved it onto the snare stand, fixed the problem, and continued the show. Since then, I always carry spares of sort of useful, small, cheap things just in a bag whenever I play a gig, just so I can always swap something around if I have to. A bit more about myself. I've got a degree in geology from the University of Southampton. I graduated from Southampton in 2015. After graduating, I stayed in Southampton to continue playing in an originals trio that I was in there. I was in that band for about 4 years in total. We were doing quite well at the time, and I thought it might lead to something, but unfortunately we ended up parting ways. But after that, I went travelling for a couple of years. I just got back in December from travelling, so I went to Southeast Asia, Japan, and I was a year in Australia. Whilst in Australia, I was working out there as a tractor driver, and I was working restoring old buildings, doing plastering, rendering, bricklaying, that sort of thing.